which hip hop act do we need to book next year? Because of course you are deeply rooted in hip hop.
You can't put me in that position. I don't know. I mean, so many, I would say, you know what I'm saying? I mean, with me, it's always going to be like, you know, old school acts because true hip hop artists. So, and there's a bunch that I can name, you know what I'm saying? So I'd have to give that some thought. I'm not going to make any people mad at me because a lot of those guys are my friends, you know what I'm saying? So I love to see them all be here, so yeah.
And you just said that the old school hip hop is true in its genre, and what do you think of the current hip hop scene?
I don't really feel like what people are hearing on the radio these days, I don't really consider that hip hop. If you really know the culture of hip hop, I don't really consider that hip hop. You know, to me, it's more of a hip hop. It's more pop music than, but rap music that's been presented in a pop flavor, which is fun. You know what I'm saying? But it's very different from the original idea and artistry of what hip hop truly came from. So I think it's advanced in certain ways and went in these different directions over the years, but then I think in certain ways it's kind of also spawned out and started doing different things. So, you know, I think because when you're dealing with a radio market or you're dealing with a commercial market, there's different demands on what needs to be played, you know, for that or for a wider audience. But in the old days, hip hop wasn't on radio. Real hip hop usually didn't touch the radio. And when it did come to radio, it was the underground DJ shows that put it on the radio. It was like, you know, the Red Alerts and the, you know, Mr. Magics and, you know, and then that type of people in different cities, you know, when it started to expand across the country and then across the world, you know, the Bobitos and Stretch Armstrongs and, you know, so, you know, I think with the music in that sense, you know, it was more still underground, you know. Once it became more commercialized, I think with any form of music, once you start to put it more in a commercial market, especially nowadays, I think the criteria changes, you know, because it's not so much about the music as an art form as it is about selling a product.
Right.
You know, and I think the music becomes more of a commodity in that sense and less of an artistry. You know, I'm an artist, so I'm gonna go with the art all day. So that's me.
And could you say the same about electronic music scene?
Of course, I can say that about not just music. I can say that about all industries of art. You know, creatively, photography. You know, I mean, so many different areas. I think has become so, you know, commercialized to the point where some of the true artists may feel frustrated because guys and women and men both who may have dedicated their lives, you know, 20 years, 30 years, 15 years, whatever, to their art form, may have more of a difficult time, you know, getting the exposure or getting the work or getting the opportunities. And now the technologies has made it easier for maybe people who haven't put as much time into that particular craft, you know, and some of those people are getting opportunities quicker just because they have the software, you know, and they haven't really studied it fully, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's the kind of the pros and cons of technology. Like, technologies can be really great in certain ways, but at the same time, technology can also give people a false sense of encouragement of thinking that they are better at something than they actually are, and they may skip some steps or skip some of the letters in the alphabet,
right,
you know, which are all steps that you got to go through to really grow and become, you know, great at whatever your interest is, you know. So I think that you know, you cannot skip steps, because all your failures, if you really embrace your failures in the proper way, the times that you fall and the mistakes that you make, there's a lot of things you learn, and that's how you grow. That's how we all grow. We grow from, our stumbles, our falls. You don't give up from those. People who give up when they fall are not dedicated to what they do. But those of us that just can't live without doing what we do, that's part of the growth, and you learn. And sometimes the greatest things come out of the mistakes are the most special moments. Because there's things that can happen that was not intentional that actually can be the best thing that you've ever done.
Sometimes it's quite difficult if you're in the experience of the mistake, but...
Of course, but change and growth is always difficult, you know what I'm saying? But what comes through it in the long run is really what's important. It's like all of this it's a marathon. This is not a sprint. So when you have the sprint mentality, or you have the fast food mentality, the quick answer mentality, you're going to miss important steps. You're going to miss important lessons. You're going to miss important information, and you're going to lose opportunities to build your skill and your confidence and your ability to see more, because you're not actually pursuing things in the right frame of mind. You're just looking for a quick result. But quick results are quick burnouts. Some people get very quick results and get very famous or very successful in a short amount of time, but they often burn out and it's gone and it's forgotten. I'd rather take longer time to get somewhere. I'd rather take risk and the chances to make a mistake and maybe fail miserably, but be remembered for taking a risk and taking a chance, rather than trying to be like everyone else, do the easy thing and just be forgotten and mixed into everything else that's forgotten.
Very wise words. Like really, have you, I would say old soul, but did you have this confidence when you were growing up also?
Yes.
Yeah?
My family always said that kind of when I was little, that I was here before. I don't know. But I have a younger face than people don't know I'm older than people think. You know what I'm saying? So
I think it's just all sparkle in your eyes, and there's this young, kind, and loving energy in your eyes, and in your smile, and in your music.
Thank you very much.
So
I appreciate it.
Really looking forward to your performance. It's a pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you. Pleasure talking to you as well.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you as well. Thank you. Cheers.
And now we look in the camera. Hey.